Tonight, as the world grows quieter and the last sounds of the day begin to fade, we gather in this sacred hour with minds that may still be wide awake. The room may be dark. The house may be still, and yet inside us, thoughts can keep moving. One concern leads to another. One unfinished conversation returns. One question about tomorrow becomes 10 more questions before the night has even begun. So here we are, divine presence, bringing you the truth of this moment. We don't come pretending that everything is easy. We don't come with perfectly peaceful minds or hearts untouched by worry. We come as we are, carrying what we carry, and we ask you to meet us here in the quiet, sacred presence. Draw near to us tonight. Be with the person listening from a bedroom where sleep feels far away. Be with the one staring into the darkness, replaying the events of the day. Be with the one whose body is tired, but whose thoughts refuse to settle. Be with the person who has been strong for everyone else and now, alone in the stillness, feels the weight of everything they have been holding inside. Source of all life, we turn toward you now. We don't need to have the right words. We don't need to understand everything. We don't need to solve tomorrow before tonight has even ended. For these few sacred moments, we simply come closer. We open the door of our hearts, we loosen our grip on the day, and together, we remember that we are not alone in the night. Great light. You know the thoughts that keep circling in our minds. You know the worry we haven't spoken aloud. You know the fear behind the question, what if something goes wrong? You know the uncertainty that follows us into bed. You know the bills we are thinking about, the responsibilities waiting for us in the morning, the message we haven't answered, the decision we don't know how to make, and the conversation we wish had gone differently. You know the ache of missing someone who isn't here. You know the empty space left by a loss. You know the loneliness that can feel especially deep when the lights are out and the world seems to have moved on. Without us, you know the fear we carry about someone we love. You know the pressure of a big day, waiting just beyond sunrise. You know the work we have to face, the responsibilities we can't escape, the uncertainty we cannot control, and you know the thoughts we can't even explain. Sometimes the mind is anxious without giving us a clear reason. Sometimes the heart simply feels unsettled. Sometimes we wake in the middle of the night with a sudden heaviness, and we don't know where it came from. Creator, you know all of this, so tonight we stop fighting ourselves. We stop judging ourselves for being afraid. We stop feeling ashamed because our minds are tired but still restless. We stop demanding that we have every answer. Instead, we place the whole truth of this night before you. Here is my worry, here is my uncertainty, here is my fear. Here is the thought I keep returning to. Here is the thing I cannot change. Here is the person I cannot protect from every difficulty. Here is the future I cannot see. Here is the past I cannot rewrite. Here is the burden I have carried all day, even when no one else could see it. I place it before you now, higher power. I surrender what I cannot control. I surrender the need to know exactly how tomorrow will unfold. I surrender the endless attempt to prepare for every possible problem. I surrender the conversations I keep rehearsing in my mind. I surrender the mistakes I wish I could undo. I surrender the words I wish I had said differently. I surrender the words someone else said that still hurt. Surrender the fear that I am not doing enough. I surrender the pressure to hold everything together. And I surrender the belief that I must carry the whole weight of my life alone. Holy Spirit of all things, receive these burdens from my hands, not because they are unimportant, not because my concerns aren't real, but because I am not meant to spend every hour carrying tomorrow before it arrives. Tonight, I let tomorrow remain in tomorrow. Let the unfinished work remain unfinished for now. I let the unanswered questions remain unanswered for this night. I let the future be held in hands greater than mine, and I ask you to help me accept the sacred limits of this moment. I am here, this night is here, and you are here. That is enough for now, divine. Quiet the storm of thoughts within me, not by forcing my mind to become empty, but by giving my thoughts a place to rest. When my mind runs ahead, Gently call me back. When I begin imagining every possible disaster, remind me that I am standing in this moment, not in all the imagined moments that may never come. When I replay yesterday, guide me gently into the present. When I fear tomorrow, remind me that tomorrow has not yet asked anything of me. Give me grace for this night. Give me permission to stop. Give me courage to release. Give me the humility to admit that I don't know what comes next, and the trust to believe that I don't have to know everything tonight. Sacred presence, let your peace reach the places in me that have been restless for too long. Let it touch the hidden corners of my heart. Let it soften the tension created by a long day. Let it settle over the thoughts that have been racing from one concern to another. Don't ask for a life without difficulty. Ask for a heart that knows where to turn when difficulty comes. I don't ask for every uncertainty to disappear. I ask for the strength to meet uncertainty without losing myself to fear. Don't ask to understand every mystery. I ask for enough light to take the next faithful step. When morning comes, great light, meet me in the thoughts that frighten me. If I am worried about someone I love, hold them in your care. If I'm afraid of losing someone, remind me to cherish the love that is present now. If I am grieving, sit with me in the places where words are not enough. If I am lonely, let me feel the quiet companionship of your presence. If I am carrying regret, teach me to receive the possibility of beginning again. If I am ashamed of something I have done, help me face the truth with humility rather than punishment. If someone has hurt me, help me release the grip that pain has on my heart, even if the healing takes time. If I am afraid of tomorrow, stand beside me as I step toward it. And if I don't know what I need, meet me there too. Source. There are nights when the mind becomes a courtroom. It brings old memories before us. It examines every decision. It asks whether we did enough, said enough, loved enough, worked enough. It places our mistakes under a harsh light and forgets the good we have done. Tonight, I ask you to bring compassion into that courtroom. Help me see myself with honesty, but also with mercy. Let me remember that I am human. I make mistakes. I misunderstand. Grow slowly. I sometimes choose poorly. I sometimes speak when I should listen and remain silent when I should speak. I sometimes carry fear into places where love is asking me to trust, but I am still learning. I am still becoming. I am still worthy of rest divine. Teach me not to confuse exhaustion with failure. Teach me not to measure my entire life by the hardest day I've had. Teach me not to judge my future by one painful chapter. Tonight, I place my imperfect self before you, and I trust that I am still held. Let me rest without earning it. Let me receive this night without proving that I deserve peace. Let me put down the work of being everything to everyone. For tonight, let me simply be. Fill me with a peace deeper than my thoughts. Let me release what is not mine to carry. Grant us courage for what tomorrow asks of us. Keep us steady when our minds begin to wander into fear. Teach us to trust one moment at a time. Holy Spirit of all things, let this prayer reach the person who feels exhausted by their own thoughts. Perhaps they have been lying awake for hours. Perhaps they have turned from one side to the other, hoping sleep will finally come. Perhaps they are listening quietly because they don't want to wake anyone. Perhaps everyone believes they are doing fine, while inside they are carrying a private storm. Let that person know through the stillness of this moment that their struggle is not invisible. Their heart is known. Their weariness is known. Their longing for peace is known. And even when they cannot find the right words, their silent prayer is still a prayer. Creator, meet us in the ordinary details of this night. Meet us beside the bedside table. Meet us beneath the blanket. Meet us in the dim light coming through the window. Meet us in the quiet hallway. Meet us in the soft sound of a fan turning through the darkness. Meet us in the house that has finally become still after a busy day. Let these simple things remind us that sacredness doesn't always arrive with Noise, sometimes it comes gently, sometimes it is found in the permission to stop. Sometimes it is felt in the quiet realization that we have survived another day, and sometimes the greatest act of trust is simply closing our eyes and saying, I cannot carry this anymore. I place it with you, Divine. I place it with you, the worries about money, the concerns about work, the questions about family, the uncertainty about relationships, the fear about what may happen, the grief over what has already happened, the disappointment I haven't fully processed, the dream that feels delayed, the decision that feels impossible, the responsibility that feels too heavy, the loneliness that I rarely admit, the fear that I might not be enough. I place them all before you. I don't deny them. I don't pretend they don't matter. I simply refuse to let them own this entire night. Sacred presence, make room in me for something else. Make room for trust. Make room for stillness. Make room for hope. Make room for the possibility that I can wake tomorrow with a heart that is not required to know everything. Give me the grace to leave some questions unanswered. Give me the wisdom to recognize what belongs to me and what does not. Give me the strength to do what I can and the humility to release what I cannot. Give me discernment when my thoughts become tangled. Let me recognize the difference between a problem I can address and a fear I'm only imagining. When I can take action, guide me. When I need to wait, strengthen me. When I need to apologize, give me courage. When I need to speak, give me wisdom. When I need to remain silent, give me restraint. When I need to begin again, give me hope. And when I simply need to rest, help me receive rest as a gift. Great light, I ask you to bless the hours ahead. Bless the darkness outside the window. Bless the quiet spaces of this home. Bless the people I love, wherever they are tonight. Watch over those who are traveling. Comfort those who are grieving. Strengthen those who are facing difficult mornings. Be near to those who feel alone. Bring courage to those waiting for news. Bring steadiness to those making important decisions. Bring tenderness to those whose hearts are bruised, and bring a gentle sense of companionship to every person who is praying. These words in the quiet of the night. May no one feel forgotten. May no one feel unseen. May no one believe that their pain makes them unworthy of peace. Source, help me remember that I don't have to solve my entire life before I sleep. One night is not the place to finish every battle. One evening is not the time to answer every question. Some things can wait until the morning. Some things can wait until I have more strength. Some things can wait until I have more clarity. And some things may never be fully within my control. Help me accept that without despair. Help me live with open hands tonight. I loosen my grip. I release the need to predict. Release the need to control. I release the need to rehearse every possible outcome. I release the need to punish myself for what I cannot change, and I turn my face toward the quiet divine. Let my thoughts become less demanding. Let the loudest fears lose their authority over me. Let the questions that have no answer tonight become softer. Let the memories that keep returning find a place to rest. Let the worries that have followed me all day know that I am no longer carrying them alone. And if a thought returns again and again, help me meet it with gentleness. I don't need to fight every thought. I don't need to believe every thought. I can simply notice that it is there and bring it back to you. This worry is yours. This fear is yours. This uncertainty is yours. This night is yours, and I am yours to care. For that sacred presence, I ask for a deeper trust in the quiet work happening beyond what I can see. I may not know what is changing. I may not know how tomorrow will unfold. I may not know whether the answers I need are close or far away, but I can trust that my life is larger than this one anxious moment. I can trust that one difficult night does not define my entire story. I can trust that uncertainty does not mean abandonment. I can trust that waiting does not mean nothing is happening. I can trust that even when I cannot see the path I can still be guided one step at a time. So tonight, I choose trust, not because I have no questions, but because I refuse to let unanswered questions become the only voice I hear. I choose hope, not because everything is easy, but because the future is still open. I choose peace, not as a demand that every problem disappear, but as a sacred place I can return to again and again. Creator, teach me the holiness of enough. Enough effort for today. Enough thinking for today. Enough striving for today. Enough explaining. Enough planning. Enough worrying. Enough carrying. The day has given what it can give, and now I let the day end. Forgive myself for the things I leave undone. I release the expectations I could not meet. I give thanks for the moments I did not notice while they were happening, for the kindness I received, for the kindness I offered, for the small moments of beauty, for the conversation that made me smile, for the meal that nourished me, for the roof over my head, for the people whose love reaches me, even across distance, for the strength that carried me through moments I once thought I couldn't. Third Dua, for the fact that I'm here tonight, still here, still breathing, still hoping, still capable of beginning again. Divine, thank you for hearing the prayers I speak aloud, and the prayers that live silently within. Be thank you for receiving the concerns I cannot explain. Thank you for being present when my faith feels strong and when my faith feels fragile. Thank you for meeting me in confidence and in doubt. I don't need to pretend that I never fear. I don't need to pretend that I always understand. I simply ask for the grace to keep turning toward what is sacred again and again, night after night. Whenever my mind becomes crowded, remind me that I can return. Whenever fear becomes loud, remind me that I can return. Whenever I feel lost in the future, remind me that I can return to this moment, to this breath, to this room, to this night, to your presence. Higher power, I trust this night to you. Trust the people I love to you. I trust the questions I cannot answer to you. I trust the future I cannot see to you. I trust the parts of my story that remain unfinished to you. I trust the places where I am still growing, and I trust that I don't have to understand the whole journey to be held through this one night. Let gratitude become the final language of my waking mind. Let me remember what is good without denying what is difficult. Let me honor the pain I carry without allowing it to erase every blessing. Let me recognize that even in a hard season, there are still small gifts: a warm bed, a quiet room, a familiar voice, a hand held, a memory cherished, a new morning waiting somewhere beyond the darkness, and perhaps even now a small place within me that still believes peace is possible. Sacred presence, protect that place. Guard the tender hope within me. Don't let fear convince me that because I cannot see the way forward, there is no way forward. Don't let one unanswered prayer convince me that I am unheard. Don't let one painful season convince me that my story has ended. Keep something gentle alive within me. Keep the light of hope. Keep the courage to begin again. Keep the wisdom to rest. Keep the humility to ask for help when I need it. Keep the compassion to be patient with myself, and keep my heart open to the goodness that I may not yet see. Great light, as this night deepens, I ask you to remain near. When the room is silent, remain near. When a thought wakes me, remain near. When an old fear returns, remain near. When I wonder about tomorrow, remain near. Let me remember that I can turn toward you without leaving my bed, without finding perfect words, without knowing exactly what to ask. A simple whisper is enough. A quiet thought is enough. A heart turned toward you is enough. And so, if I wake again tonight, let my first response not be panic. Let it be remembrance. Let me remember that I am here. Let me remember that I am not required to solve everything at 2 a.m. Let me remember that the night is not asking me for answers. Let me remember that I can place the worry down again and again and again until the mind grows quieter until the heart feels less burdened, until I can surrender once more. Divine, I entrust the coming hours to you. Let them be gentle, let them be spacious, let them be free from the pressure to accomplish anything. Let my body find the rest it needs. Let my thoughts become less urgent. Let my heart remember its center, and if sleep comes easily, I receive it with gratitude. If sleep takes longer, I receive the quiet without turning against myself. Either way, I remain held in this sacred moment. I remain worthy of tenderness. I remain worthy of rest. I remain worthy of hope. And I remain surrounded by a presence greater than the fear that visits me. Creator, when morning comes, let me rise with whatever strength I have. I don't ask to wake with every problem solved. I ask to wake with enough courage for the next step, enough wisdom for the next decision, enough patience for the next conversation, enough grace for the next challenge, and enough awareness to recognize the good that is already present. Let tomorrow meet a heart that has been reminded of where to place its burdens. Let tomorrow meet a mind that knows it doesn't have to run ahead. Let tomorrow meet a soul that has rested, even if imperfectly, in the knowledge that it is not alone. Tonight, I choose to release. Tonight, I choose to trust. Tonight, I choose to stop carrying what belongs to tomorrow, and I give thanks. Thank you, Divine, for this night. Thank you for the quiet. Thank you for the chance to begin again within a single evening. Thank you for every person who has loved me through difficult seasons. Thank you for every unseen kindness. Thank you for every moment when I found strength I didn't know I had. Thank you for every morning that came after a difficult night. Thank you for every time life surprised me with goodness when I had expected only struggle. Thank you for the hope that remains even here. Thank you for hearing us. Thank you for receiving us. Thank you for holding what we cannot hold alone. Sacred presence, we end this prayer not by pretending that every worry is gone, but by remembering that worry does not have the final word. Fear does not own the night. Uncertainty does not own the future, and an anxious mind does not define the whole of who we are. There is still room for peace. There is still room for hope. There is still room for trust. There is still room for a new morning. So I place my head down without demanding answers from the darkness. I release the day. I release tomorrow. I release the thoughts that have exhausted me. And I rest in the sacred mystery of being held. May peace settle gently over this room. May courage remain close to every heart that feels afraid. May comfort find those who are grieving. May hope accompany those who are uncertain. May love surround those who feel alone. And may every restless thought slowly discover that it does not have to keep watch all night. Divine, keep watch for us. Hold what we release. Carry what we cannot. And when morning comes, meet us at the edge of a new day with fresh strength, clear hearts, and the quiet courage to begin again. For tonight, we let the world wait. For tonight, we let the questions rest. For tonight, we place our anxious minds into the care of a presence greater than our fear. And we remember this: we do not have to solve the whole of tomorrow to be at peace tonight.